everyone, to Let's Talk in Code Mixed, the podcast where we break down the everyday communication we all deal with a bit of humor and a real life examples that anyone could relate to in this super multilingual world we live in. We dive into how mixing languages and digital trends reflect how we are and challenge those old school rules. If you use more than just words to chat and mix languages, even when you are thinking, then this is your space. So, in this episode, Spanglish, stickers, and classroom politics using all our resources, we're gonna bust the myth of pure language. Plus, with some examples from our guest today, we'll look at how everyday communication is actually multimodal and multilingual. You will see why an emoji or a phrase in another language isn't a mistake. It's a skill for expressing your identity better. All right, listeners, time to say hi to our guests and experts for today. Welcome, Coral, Nailea, and also Karina. Could you guys introduce yourselves to the audience?
Sure, Devani. I'm Coral Villarreal, and I'm a specialist in digital communication. Great to be here chatting with all of you.
Hey everyone, I'm Nailea Reséndiz, a researcher in social interactions. Thanks for having me.
And I'm Karina Ríos, and I am a research language policies.
Thank you so much to all of you for coming. With intros out of the way, let's dive in and decode. For a bit more context for today's episode, our guest and I have all read chapters 4 and also 5 from Jones and Themistocleus' book that it's called Introducing Language and Society. Those chapters cover modes in media and also code mixing and translanguaging, all to give us a solid base and better insights to share with you all. So let's start with chapter 4, and that it's modes in media. Coral, could you explain how a sticker or even capital letters can totally change the meaning in a message? Like, say, one sent on social media like WhatsApp.
Absolutely. In the digital world, these little tweaks make a huge difference to the meaning, since everything is multimodal. Uh, Text is just one mode, right? For example, if I text my lifelong friend, "See you later," all proper, it seems totally normal. But if I go "see you later" in all caps with a bunch of exclamation points, or even slap on a sticker like that classic Elmo with an explosion behind him, that's resematization. I'm switching modes to shift the meaning. I'm trying like to convey urgency or excitement, and that's how my digital identity gets built, by mixing text, images, and even punctuation.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Coral. I totally agree. And it's not just that. I think even the speed of these media complicates everything too.
Hold up, Nailea. Um, you're about to hit one of the key things we wanted to chat about today. Since the main theme also touches on marginalization and bullying in this digital world, um, tell us how do these modes up the spread of negative languages, ideologies, or that infamous online bullying?
Well, with all the new internet updates, there's more speed and anonymity, which can make communication more aggressive or hurtful. A simple image or even mocking someone's accent could blow up exponentially. This is a challenge that Jones and Themistocles nail in their book. The same media that connect us can unfortunately marginalize us too.
Thanks for those impressive insights, ladies. They're spot on for our world right now. All right, time to move on to the next topic. Title Chapter 5 from Jones and Themistocleus on code mixing and translanguaging. So, going back to Nailea, since you research social interactions, why do people, what do you think about people mixing languages so often, like with Spanglish?
I think, I mean, this happens mostly because of social races. We mix for affection or when we're hanging out with other people or even to build a specific social identity. Like a personal example, I do code switching when talking to my family. I actually start in Spanish, but when I'm chatting about an American show or something like that, I switch to English to quote a line exactly. This happens a lot with my mom since she lives in the US and needs to practice flipping between languages smoothly. It's not laziness, it's a more precise way to communicate, building a full bilingual repertoire. And I'm even helping my mom build hers.
For me, the concept from chapter 5 that stood out and I related to most was crossing. It means like using words or expressions from a language I'm not native in. I do it with coworkers or close friends for laughs, like quoting those famous Portuguese memes. The fact that it's in another language makes it funnier. Um, especially hearing us butcher the pronunciations since we're not pros. It's a prime example of identity design, but we're always careful and respectful so it doesn't turn into mocking each other or the language, you know?
Good example. And that actually leads to a more advanced concept called translanguaging. It's not just switching languages, it's using all your linguistic resources at once to hit a communication goal. Bilingual speakers don't have two halves, they have got one powerful repertoire. Take Nailea's mom and family in the US as an example. They've built a border bilingual repertoire by living in a new place with a new language, even speaking or writing in Spanglish, blending two languages into something new with similar grammar rules.
Wow, that's really interesting. So, thanks to all of you for those takes on the concepts from this chapter. Before we wrap up, I'd love to spark a little debate. So, let's talk about the tension between language policies in classrooms and how people actually use language in real life. How do you think these two worlds clash?
For me, policies often demand some kind of purity in languages. Punishing code mixing, which totally ignores today's reality where most students mix codes anyway. It also undervalues the resources we have for teaching, forcing this code mixing with whatever we like it or not.
That's actually a linguistic ideology right there. Schools should recognize translanguaging, sorry, uh, yes, like schools should recognize that translanguaging is an amazing bridge. It'd be even better if teachers supported students in using it. Like, for instance, if a student wants to use their stronger language to grasp a tough concept or something like that, they'll learn it better and even master it in the official language of the country. Take Spanglish. As a teacher in the US, if I help students whose strong language is Spanish understand a hard class topic, they'll get it way better in English too.
Exactly. Insisting on language purity doesn't help learning at all, especially in this globalized era where countries and languages are all mixed. It just makes everyday code feel wrong or incorrect and often judges the speaker as stuck up or inferior.
Well, thanks again for your thoughts. And sadly, that's the end of this episode of Let's Talk in Code Mixed. Let's wrap with the idea that communication is rich, complex, and above all, multilingual. So, guys, remember, just languaging and multimodality aren't mistakes. They're killer social skills. Again, thanks to our guest insights, we've seen that using all your resources from Spanglish to stickers is one of the most authentic and also effective ways to connect into this world. Huge thanks to Coral, Nailea, and Karina for joining and sharing your thoughts. See you in the next episode and keep decoding those speech codes.